Hello. Welcome to Seeding Community. Uh, we're having fun here. Aloy, you want to introduce yourself in any way?
Yeah, my name is Aloysius. I am the daughter of Angela and the granddaughter of Margaret. I'm also the mother to Embriana. I'm excited to be here.
Mm. I am Jordan, um, son of Jeffrey and Sarah. Yeah. Family's interesting for me right now. Grateful for my chosen family. Healing to connect and meet my, I guess, genetic family where we each are, and create the right healthy relationship there. And so, um, that's an edge for me. Leaning into my ancestral line as owning it as me. It's a pleasure to be welcome you all to Seeding Community. We've been dreaming about this for a couple months now. Co-creating a resource that helps our community grow, not just grow wider and connect with more people, but also grow deeper. Deeper in how we can nurture and cultivate relationships around authenticity and belonging. Support individuals' healing to further step into more authentic expressions of themselves and bring their gifts to life, to explore new ways and say new and old ways to meet our needs in relationship and as a collective. And we're excited to welcome you into this experiment of something you had mentioned as we were dreaming the other day was like this idea of how can systems design, communication, and storytelling cultivate a deeper sense of belonging and accessibility and inclusion. Anything else you want to share on that?
Yeah, well, no, just to speak to that, is that there's already incredible things happening in our community. There are already people who are rewriting stories and recreating and creating new traditions and rituals and ways of being. And it's hard with the technology that we have right now to really see that. Data is really fractalized, and there's a lot of algorithms that get in the way of us actually seeing the things we seek when we get onto our devices, and centralizing that in a way through just lightweight technology, just creating a way for us to signal to folks, kind of draw people into like what we're seeing, what we know is happening in our community. It's just, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, that touches on a lot for me. Like there's this mycelial web of relationships and people bringing their offerings and stories and the ways that they're healing as through themselves, and then sharing that with others. And sometimes it's hard to see this larger ecosystem that we're a part of, and it's there. We're not alone in this, and we're not just one-off in these relationships. We're a part of this larger web, and so thinking about how that can be seen and what that can do for us in not just for the whole community, but for ourselves, seeing ourselves in it and being a resource for that moving forward in powerful ways. Yeah.
I was just thinking I could get distracted by that bird, and then it started calling. I was like, uh-oh.
Well, that comes with the season too. We've been talking about fall, slowing down, listening, being present. Yeah. We're here sitting in the land, surrounded by leaves, trees that we've had time to connect with.
Yeah, I feel like I know these woods pretty well.
This is part of the journey. think of healing ourselves. We think healing our relationship. And I think a lot of the root cause of the crises we're in today is the separateness, the disconnection. Our minds from our bodies, spirits, me from you, us from the land that nourishes us.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Now, we have a powerful community of healers in the Pacific Northwest. It's absolutely incredible. I think a lot of it has to do with like the nature. Most of the folks I know who are in the work of healing are very connected to the land here. And it's not to say that it isn't happening anywhere else in the world, but like I feel a density or a potency of it here that's different than anywhere I've experienced as I've traveled around the States. And just being able to bring everybody together in these times feels really important. Like, we really need to heal, and we don't do it in isolation. We do it in connection with other people. It's like, just opening ourselves up to the mirrors that are out there and, allowing ourselves to shine. The times need that.
Yes.
And, and a lot of the design that I've been doing in, like, Web3 and tech spaces, it's around the community building. It's like, how do we not be dominated by the technology that we're using? How do we leverage the technology for our benefit without it being something that's just imposing on our nervous system and attention span?
Yeah, there's so much there. And I think about ways that this resource, a regular newsletter, which is nothing special. It's kind of like we're in high school and we wanted to start a little regular college or high school newspaper, but it ends up being a place to heal some of that and to shift some of those trends. I think of so many healers I know who are hosting amazing events who feel the need to cultivate their own following just to be able to get amazing things out into the world. How could this be a resource for them? How could this be a resource for people who are searching for ways to find community, find ways to connect deeper with themselves, with incorporating and integrating meaning in their lives, opportunities to have the space to fully feel everything, feel our grief for where we are today and what brought us here, feel the anger, feel the different tensions and unintegrated feelings that then can allow us to more fully blossom into ourselves. And that shit gets me excited.
Yep. We like to move it.
That gets me hopeful. Yeah. Last thing I want to share is, we'd already thought this was going to be like a 2-minute video, and we're like 9 minutes now, of course, because we just started having fun. We like to move it. We have no idea where this is going. We view this as an experiment. And it's an experiment not just in what it can be for the community deepening and the community widening and people more fully manifesting their dreams, sharing their gifts, healing to live deeper in alignment and through agency and with integrity and in right relationship in all the different ways, and especially with the land and we're on, the history, the different communities in our city and ways that we can bring people together. But with that horizon in mind, not even a set vision, we have no idea where this is going to go. This is a co-creation. And one of the core questions that we've been feeling into is, how can this be of value to you? How can this be a resource to you? What is it that you're yearning for that we can help make it more easeful for you to connect with, for you to find and start to be a part of? And my feeling is, the largest dream of mine is creating a world where everyone belongs. And that belonging starts, of course, in ourselves and in relationship. They're intrinsically interconnected and interdependent. And when we can feel a sense of belonging in our truest, most present, whatever the presence is, the messiness, all the different feelings, from like that wildest grand dream or celebration to like the repressed shame or the childhood trauma that's holding us back from opening up into relationship in ways that we're now yearning to open up to love, different protection mechanisms or whatever they might be. We can create the spaces in groups and in community for us to feel seen and full and integrate these back into our wholeness, that goes way beyond just ourselves, but wholeness as a collective, and the wisdom and guidance of all of that for the time we're in today and what that means for each of us and bringing that forth for what it can mean for the collective. I just feel that can unlock something special for each of us. And so however this resource can end up being something valuable and meaningful for you and an experience for you, in whatever way that is. And we've been referring to this as tending to the relational soil of this community. And yeah, we got to do it together. We can't do it alone. Fuck that individualism bullshit. Yeah, and fuck codependency too. Let's find how to be in relationship and right relationship and integrity and truth in ourselves and open up to real meaningful love.
Yeah.
What else you got before we send this away to the interwebs?
No, that's it. I'm ready. I'm ready to like see my community see itself. Ready to leverage the resources that we have available in these times to create access points for connection. Yeah. Hopefully get it all in one spot. It's all over the internet. Reel it in.
What, you know what I mean? Like I got Facebook to look at, and then I got Instagram, and then I got 14 WhatsApp groups, a couple Telegram groups, a couple Signal groups, and then I got some other shit. And so
oh my gosh. No.
Yeah. And then I got texts, and then I got people I live with anyway. Yeah. Let's support this from the soil and see where it goes. So, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.